is going to speak about portfolio. So to apply, we have three requirements. So first of all, you have to complete your high school. So if right now you are doing high school, you don't have to wait to finish high school to apply because it will be very late in June, July. If you are in the 12th grade, I recommend you to apply as soon as possible. And once you will finish, you will send your diploma to us, and you will send us another document that is called enigmatic. This document is going to compare your high school diploma from United States, from India, from any country in the world to a French education diploma. We don't ask for a portfolio. For example, Brian, he never drew before coming to Esma. So we did an interview together to know a little bit better the student, his personality. He's really motivated to do this program, and if he's ready to come to France to start a new life. But if you want to go straight to the second year, we will do a meeting and we will also ask you for a portfolio. So I don't know, Brian, if you want to speak a little bit about your interview.
Yeah, I had a portfolio and there wasn't any drawing in it because I haven't done that before, but I had maybe 6 things in my portfolio. I mostly wanted to focus on things that I was proud of that I've done, things that took a lot of work, because that really shows your dedication. And that's mostly what they're looking for in the interview is how dedicated you are to learning and how willing you are to do things that are difficult, um, and really just talk about who you are and what you like to do mostly.
Yes. So you can put some pictures, some drawings, even if they are not very good, even if they're only sketches. Some inspirations, so movies that you like a lot, video games, artists, all of these kind of things. And then you can also prepare your interview, like you can check our program and understand what we do and how many years is the program, everything. Like we will check if you did your homework about ESMA and if you already want to come to this school. Okay. Then how to apply? The application is really easy. You only have to go to the website, start an application form, and for that we will ask for a passport or a copy of identity. We will ask for some transcripts. So if you are in high school, you can put the transcript from the 11th grade. And if you already have the high school diploma, you can put some other transcript if you already did a bachelor or other program. We will ask you for a picture, and if you already have your high school diploma, we will ask you for the enigmatic receipt. So if you already have your high school diploma, you can go to the enigmatic website and you can start the procedure. Okay.
If you're waiting for it, they should give you like a confirmation that you've actually begun the process. That's something else that you can include.
But if you are still in high school, you don't have to worry about enigmatic. You can only put a picture saying that you are in high school. Like that, we will understand that you don't have your high school diploma yet. Okay. Once your file is complete, you can schedule for a meeting with us. It will be Berenice or I or myself. We will do a meeting with you, and we will check if you are ready to come to ESMA. If you have the profile to join ESMA, and after the meeting, we will give you a response after the day after the meeting or 40 hours later. Okay. Once you are accepted in their school, normally you have 15 days to pay the inscription fees. It's 700 euros, and that's the only money you have to pay before coming to France. Okay. So once you finish your interview, if you are ready, if you are 100% sure you want to come to ESMA, you have to pay this inscription fees, and we will give you a document that you can use for the visa procedure. So this will be very important. We will put all the information that your embassy needs to come to France. And yes, and concerning the interview. Okay, if you want to be a little bit less stressed, we only want to get to know you better. Okay, we will ask you some question about your 3D animation favorite movies, your style, which kind of drawing do you like to do, if you draw, if you don't draw, if you like to play video games, if you like to read, to watch movies, that kind of things. If you know a little bit about 3D animation work, okay, and if you are 100% sure to do this kind of program. Why? Because ESMA is really hard, we can say. There is a lot of work, there is a lot of projects at the same time. So people has to be very, very invest in their job. They have to be ready to come to friends and to work a lot of hours every day. So we are going to evaluate your motivation. And if you want to apply for the second year, we are going to evaluate your portfolio. We are going to show you an example of our portfolio from the second year. Like that, you have an idea of which kind of drawings do you have to show us if you want to go to the second year. Brian, I don't know if you want to speak about the work you do in ESMA, like
The workload.
yes.
For me, last year was definitely started out really difficult because I wasn't ready for, well, I didn't really know what was expected of me. Um, but after a while, I started working on my organization. And this year, for example, I am one of the very few. So I definitely recommend getting organization as a priority. But I don't really work at home anymore. I don't need to because I've learned how to be efficient and effective in the class time that I'm given to work. Um, so for me, it's not too much of a problem, but it really takes time to understand what's expected of you. But you'll definitely enjoy the projects you're given.
So the preparatory year is also super helpful to understand this way to work in ESMA, to be organized, to work every day, and also to work in class in the school. Like that, you have less work at home, because it's also very important to rest. Because when you have to follow a 4 hours animation class or 4 hours lights in class, you have to be very awake and to be very focused in what the teacher is saying. So, how will be the interview? We will ask you to introduce yourself and tell me a little bit about you, who you are, what are you doing right now, why do you want to do 3D animation. We are going to ask you some questions about if you are organized, if you like to work in a group, if you are ready to come to friends, and all of that. And you will be able to share your portfolio with us and show us your world and your personality. We will explain you the program year by year. So everything that we do every year, all the different projects, all the evolution. So for example, Brian, he never draws, and the first week of classes, his level was very, very weak. And at the end of the prepa, the progression was amazing. Like he was super good in perspective, I remember at the end. So it's super nice to see how people that never draw, they are able to do very amazing things in traditional drawings. And also we will answer all the questions you can have about living in France, about the visa, about creating a bank account in France, like all of this paperwork that maybe is super difficult for you because you are very far from France. So we will help you to do that. You want to say something, Brian?
I wanted to mention that um, looking up the school is important before the interview. You need to know why you want to come here and what it is about the school that makes it unique. For example, in the interview, you might get a question that asks, well, why don't you apply to a different school? And that should be something that you need to be ready to answer, not just for those doing the interview, but for yourself as well. That's something I'd highly recommend is doing research beforehand.
Thank you, Brian. It's very important. So a few tips. So yes, there is not pressure. Okay, it's a conversation. So don't be stressed, even if it's your first question interview that you do in your whole life. Don't be stressed. We are very nice people, and we ask you to stay natural, to show us your real personality, to look for information about our program, as Brian said, and to prepare a list of questions that you can have about the program, about living in France, about everything that you want, about the teachers, everything like that. We can speak about it during the interview. But if you forget anything, don't worry, because we are also here after the meeting if you want to schedule another meeting or to speak with some students. We also have a Discord group where you can speak with students from the prepa to the last year of the program, and you can ask them how many questions you want. So here you have example of a portfolio from the second year. Okay, if you want to go to the preparatory year, a portfolio is not mandatory. So if you want to go to the second year, the objective is to create a good impression of your work. So I recommend you to put how many drawings you have, like the more the better, and drawings that shows your personality. So I recommend you to put, the most important will be anatomy, color, and perspective. But you can also put digital things that you might have. We will focus on traditional, okay? Because for example, Brian, he went to the second year and he never used a computer before. So
Well,
if
for art.
yes, like a software yes, he used to work with computers, but he never worked on Maya or Blender or any other software. So if you already tried Blender or Maya, it's also good, but we will focus in your traditional drawing level. Okay, so you can put it, but if you put 100% digital things, for us, the portfolio will be not enough. We will ask you for traditional. I don't know if you want to say something about no? Okay.
No.
So don't worry if you never try digital. If you want to go to the second year and you never try digital, because we start from the very, very beginning. So the fundamentals in animation, in modeling, in lighting. So don't stress about that.
I found a note from like the first day, and it was telling me like how to move around the viewport in Maya, how to use the most basic controls that are now just, I don't even think about them anymore. And so yeah, we start from the very 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 beginning in the second year.
So the softwares that we use is Maya, Houdini for visual effects. He doesn't use it yet because it will be next year. Photoshop, Illustrator, which others?
There's a couple others, but
Like the big ones.
we haven't really used a couple of the others yet. We'll be using Nuke as well later for compositing.
Yes. Okay, so how to prepare your portfolio? So as I said, I recommend you to put anatomy, perspective, and color, and to put different techniques, different mediums like watercolor, painting, gouache, oil painting, everything that you tried before. And as I said, if you already did some 3D projects, you can put it also on your book. Okay. So here you have an example of what one of our students showed us during his interview. He went straight to the second year. So he did this little project to show his personality, to do a little introduction of himself. So that's always nice because that allows us to meet this student. Then he puts anatomy and living model drawings. This will be very important because we need to be sure that the students understand the anatomy of a character, of a human person. Because for animation, it will be very, very important to understand like the size of the characters and others. Then he also put some color and observation, like very realistic paintings. These different colored, different techniques projects with gouache, watercolor, pastels, and others. Some perspective, okay. For example, this student, he shows some perspective. In Esma, the level in perspectives is a little bit higher than this one. Yes. So Brian, he's used to do better perspective drawing than this one. Okay. But if you are not very good in perspective, but you are very good in color and in anatomy, we do a balance. Okay. So don't worry, you don't have to be very, very good in everything. There is students that are better in color and less good in perspective. So don't worry. So this one is, his level is a little bit normal in perspective, okay, but he knows how to do other things, so don't worry about that.
And also, it's the same thing as 3D with the preparatory year. That's what it's for, is for you to begin learning how to use the different mediums and how to do perspective, coloring, anatomy. That's what it's for. So it's okay if you don't really have, like me, a high level in it before the preparatory year.
Voilà. And so that is about portfolio. So you can put from 10 to, like, I recommend you to put more than 10 drawings, and then you can put how many you want. You can put 20, 30, whatever you want. The objective is to show us your art skill level. Okay. Concerning life in school, international students, what happened when you come to France? So once you are here, we try to make you feel a little bit at home, because for the big part of the students, it's the first time that they leave home for the new beginning. You are in another country where normally you don't speak French. So Brian, he already learned a lot of French very fast.
But I didn't know any beforehand, so.
Yes. So don't worry, because during the preparatory year, we offer French classes, 4 hours every week of French. So that will be very useful for living in France. But we will do other activities, like for example, before the beginning of classes, we organize a little tour of the city to show you like the best places, how to create a transport card, how to create a bank account. Bank account is a very, very difficult task in France for a lot of people. If you are from the United States, it's complicated. And we organize some activities, some games like that. You already meet some of your new friends in Esma. And we also do a little cocktail after the first week in classes to make sure that your integration was okay, that you feel okay, and that you don't need any help with any problem you might have. And what do we do at the end of ESMA? So at the end of the program, the objective is to be able to do a production of a short movie. So they have to do a 6-7 minutes short movie. So here you have an example of one of these movies. I will share with you a teaser, okay? But all the movies are on YouTube. So if you want to apply, I recommend you to take a look to the YouTube channel and to watch some of the movies, because they are really, really good. And like that, you will show your motivation for ESPA. So let me share my screen. Okay, so here during 1 year they work in the production of the movie. So they have 1 year to do yes. So a whole year they don't have a lot of holidays. They only have holidays in the Christmas time, and they have like an open space where they work all in the. We will share your information with them, and they will be able to ask you how many questions you may have. We propose another meeting next week on the 25th March. If you have any other question about the program, and we will explain you how to live in France, all the paperwork you have to do, and others. So you are invited to this meeting. And then I don't know if you have any question. Here you have our contacts. If you want to apply for Lyon, my name is Anna, so you can send me an email to this email, and also to Berenice. And if you want to go to Montpellier, the south of France, you can contact Aurelia or Charlotte. And let me check if you have any question. Brian, do you want to say something else?
No, just if anybody has questions. You said there's the Discord, right, for
Yes.
questions as well.
So there is a Discord. We can send you the link if you are interested in speaking with Esma students. They are very nice and they are here for you if you need. And also we have some newsletters where we show all the activities that we do every month in Esma, like Halloween. We do also like a big gala at the end of the year. Like there is a lot of different
Open day too.
the open days. So if you want to, okay, so there is not any question. Okay, so thank you for joining us today. I will let you come back to us if you have any other question, and if you want to, I don't know, do another meeting with me with another student to ask some question about the portfolio. I'm here for you. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.